He is a certified peer support specialist, a life coach, and a plant-based chef whose personal experiences have been inspiring a massive movement of change and curiosity into the sometimes unlikely opportunities that life offers us each day. Please welcome John Hall.
How do you define opportunity? In the past, I defined opportunity in a very two-dimensional manner. It was either good or bad. Now, my thinking aligns more with the Merriam-Webster dictionary definition. You see, I had a number of things happen in my life that at one time I felt were unlucky, unfortunate, difficult to deal with. And I realized later that ultimately they helped me become who I am today. And gosh darn it, I like me. Now we get to choose how we perceive a situation. We get to choose how do we perceive pretty much anything in our lives. As the Roman philosopher Seneca states in this, you get to choose how you perceive the events of your life in each moment. Now, I had once heard a spiritual teacher say that man is in the make. And the way that I interpreted that is that we are experiencing stimuli from all sources around us at all times. And we are interacting with that on a regular basis. And we're constantly evolving. We're constantly changing because we're making decisions based upon the stimuli, the information coming in. Now, before you stands a person who has a number of pretty profound opportunities. I had opportunities that made me an independent thinker, made me resourceful. I had opportunities to meet and connect with diverse populations of people. I had opportunities to take 3 multiple-month-long retreats. Now, some of these opportunities that I've experienced may seem somewhat unsavory to some people, but I get to own them because, well, I experienced them and I got to change the color. I got to dye the event in the favor that benefited me in my life. Perception is a tricky thing. What one person sees, another person does not. And we may be standing next to each other staring at the very same thing, and we may see something completely different. And in fact, the possibilities that each one of us has a completely different perspective on maybe the very same thing, I think is very possible. Now, how we choose to perceive an event puts us in a position to see things differently. And that choice can change from moment to moment. Darwin suggests that it's the most adaptable that survives. It's not the strongest, it's not the smartest, the most adaptable. The ability to change our perception makes us adaptable. Now, I grew up in a family of strong, beautiful, resilient, and somewhat surly people. And the opportunities that I spoke of earlier were often brought by hardship. We struggle with generations of hardship in the family. And that was handed down from generation to generation. So my ability to be an independent thinker and to be resourceful came from having a lot of alone time as a child. My opportunity to meet and connect with a vast, diverse population came from the fact that we moved 2 to 3 times a year, almost every year, and sometimes in other states. Now, the three retreats that I talked about, first one, it's amazing. 305-acre organic farm, meditation retreat center, Pacific Northwest, beautiful, temperate rainforest. I fell in love. I enjoyed that so much that I ended up moving there. I lived there for 2 years. Absolutely wonderful experience that stays with me to this day. My second retreat was here locally, hosted by the Ada County Jail. Now, that one lasted 3 months. The food was okay. No temperate rainforest. Plenty of time to meditate. And the third retreat that I took was hosted most graciously by the Idaho Department of Corrections. Now, you see, I had an opportunity at that time to make a choice on how I was going to perceive what was going on. I received a 2.5-year sentence for DUI. But I had an opportunity to really say, what am I going to do with this time? I made a choice to see the Idaho Department of Corrections as my university, as my monastery. And I took that time to do a deep dive into my own psyche, to try to understand what it was that had been bothering me, what it was that was creating this continual pattern that was disrupting my life and hurting other people. So let's put these 3 quotes together. We are in the make, we're constantly evolving. Who I am today, I'll be pretty much that tomorrow, but not completely. We get to choose our perspective. And adaptability is the key to survivability. And that's not only physically, that's mentally, that's emotionally. So I had to change so that I could survive, so that I could be okay and navigate the world in a way that was healthy for me and the people around me. Story time. Christmas. There's a great big present under the tree, my father's house. I am super excited. We don't have much money, so a big present means, this is going to be something good. I started opening that present up, get through the first layer, and there's another present inside. I'm like, okay, this is still good, right? Went from here to here. Open that present up, there's another present inside. Again, and again, and again, and again, and again, and again, till I have a box the size of a ring. I went from being super excited to pretty low. Like, what could this be? I don't want a ring, I'm a kid. You know what I mean? I'm not getting married. I opened up that tiny little box, and inside was a note. And that note said, look in the closet for your present. So I go to the closet, I open it up, and there's the most amazing gift to me. It's a brand new compound bow, arrows, everything that I needed, all the equipment that I needed. I I went back to, what? This is amazing. Even higher than I was before. Absolutely excited. See how quickly my perception changed? In moments. My life was amazing. That was terrible. That was amazing again. So I had the bow and arrows. I have these tools, and I don't know how to use them, so, well, we have to learn how to use the tools that we get. And much like the tools that I talked about earlier, about the critical thinking, the self-sufficiency, the ability to connect with people, I had a lot of those tools, but I also didn't really know how to use them. I wasn't practiced, right? And so I had to learn how to use the bow. I had to learn how to aim. I had to learn how to, and I realized that there was a significant pattern that I could follow. When you're learning how to aim, you accept the environment that you're in, the target that you're going to shoot. You accept the conditions that you're going to shoot in. Identify. You have to identify the factors that are working for you and the factors that are working against you. And then you make a plan. So let's just imagine an archer. Right? I'm in the terrain, it's raining, the wind is blowing, I'm shooting my target uphill. These are the conditions that I accept. I identify that I need to adjust for the wind, for the rain, for uphill. I know that the wind is at my back, so the arrow will fly farther. I make a plan. I adjust for the distance that I am going to have to shoot. I adjust for the wind carrying the arrow. I adjust for the height that I need to shoot the target accurately. And in my own life, I had to accept that I had a problem with alcohol, that it wasn't getting me to where I wanted to go. I was struggling with alcoholism. And I had to identify that I had no coping skills to deal with life on life's terms. And so I made a plan. I sought mentors. I read books. I listened to other people's stories so that I could understand better what was going on. And I did a deep dive into my psyche, and it was liberating. Another story. So we would go to my father's house every other weekend, and I had a friend that I really wanted to go to his house. And so I asked my father, Dad, can Chris come? He said, John, you can come next time. I was like, great. Still excited. Next time comes, hey, Dad. He said, next time. Can Chris come over? Next time. Again, I ask, can Chris come over? Next time. And then finally I was like, okay, Dad, what's the gig? So every time that I ask you if Chris can come over, you say next time. It's next time. He said, no, John, it's this time. Next time never comes. Oh man, was I hurt by that. But later in life, I realized that really we only have this moment. There is only this moment that we can really act on anything in our lives. Now, you may be familiar with the author Ram Dass. He wrote Be Here Now. And in that, he suggests that the future has not arrived and the past is done. There is only now. And from that, I took and realized that, only in this moment can I heal from my past. And only in this moment can I plan for the future. But only in this moment can I act. So take aim and take action.
Yeah, get it up, get it up, get it up. Yo, you say